How to be a good YouTuber. Are you uploading quality content on a weekly basis? Are you sacrificing all of your free time as well as your social life to make more videos? Are you reading all the comments and being polite to everyone, even the ones who think they are entitled to demand stuff from you, without even being part of the membership program, let alone say please? Have you told your best friend in the world, the Buddymeister, about this new wonderful Malayalam movie so that he can enjoy it as well and be part of the review? Well, I can't think about everything.
Camera. And action.
ബാങ്ക് ലോൺ എടുത്താൽ ബാങ്കുകാരാണ് രക്ഷപ്പെടുക.
Cut.
Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage and Halal Love Story is a brand new Malayalam language comedy drama that was just released on Amazon Prime. It is the second feature film by Zakariya Mohammed after his much beloved 2018 Sudani from Nigeria. And to give you my overall take up front, Halal Love Story is easily one of this year's most charming, sweet and wonderful films. It is a really simple and down-to-earth story and the presentation is also just so lovingly mellow, yet at the same time it definitely has something important on its mind. It's also populated by really likable characters who are brought to life by a wonderful cast. The film is actually a period piece taking place around the time after the 9/11 attacks. It is set in a village in Malappuram and we are being introduced to people who are demonstrating against America's policies of invading other countries under the banner of their war on terrorism. As the title suggests, our protagonists are of Islamic faith and the movie points to a very important issue, to the injustice that a vast and diverse group of believers of a particular religion are all demonized because of the crimes of a few. Unfortunately, this wasn't just something that happened and peaked in the time after 9/11, but it's probably more relevant than ever today. And one factor that is of utmost importance is the issue of representation, to allow other images to exist as well, to show other perspectives, to let people of other skin colors, cultures, sexual orientations or religions create art as well and let that art be shown. Now, with all that being said, Halal Love Story addresses those issues, but it's in no way a heavy or depressing film. It's the opposite. It's a light-hearted, often quite quirky satire and feel-good movie. It for sure falls in the category that we lovingly coined as Malayalam chill, that is characterized by a very lean-back and chill atmosphere, which offers a story, but one that is very grounded, features rather common, ordinary people, and overall it feels more like a glimpse into the everyday lives of these characters. Two other important aspects in that vein are the lush green location of Kerala, the beautiful way it is shot by director of cinematography RJ Menon, and the lovely score composed by Yaksan Gary Pereira and Nea Nair, with songs composed by Shahabas Aman and Bijibal, music produced by Rex Vijayan, and lyrics penned by Musin Parari and Anwar Ali. Halal Love Story is one of those movies about movie making itself, and its story revolves around the attempt to make a halal film that conforms to the guidelines and descriptions of the Islamic organization our protagonists are a part of. I would say it features 5 main characters, of which 2 become more center as the movie progresses. We have Rahim Zahi, played by Nazar Karutheny, and Tawfiq, played by Sharafudheen, functioning as the film's producers, with Tawfiq also writing the screenplay. The first half hour or so shows us their endeavor to persuade the organization, find a director and also very importantly come up with the money to make the film. And all of these steps are entangled with the need of doing everything halal, which is of course a balancing act. In one scene, for example, they are asking someone to finance the film, but they would only accept it if it's clean money, to paraphrase it. They do though agree that their director should have mainstream appeal, meaning that he should have a non-Muslim name, which then of course creates further conflicts. But most conflicts in Halal Love Story aren't that big, at least on the surface. They do touch on the different belief systems and the rules that come with it, but like I said, the overall vibe is quite mellow and very charming and just good-hearted. They do find a director in Ziraj, played by Joju George, and there's a very small moment early on that I really liked a lot. At first it seems as if Siraj and his assistant might be functioning as this antagonistic force, maybe ripping off those pious Muslims who know very little about filmmaking. But when Tawfiq is calling Siraj and first just genuinely asks him how he is doing, Siraj is quite touched by that friendly notion because no one has asked him that for a long time. And throughout the film, Siraj is portrayed as someone who has a lot of problems in his life right now, or rather one major problem, and who's maybe not the friendliest looking person from the outside, but in the end he just feels like a real human being and not a plot device. Halal Love Story succeeds in upholding this nice balance of fun and satirical quirkiness and also being genuine and natural. I, for example, also like the idea that our protagonists want to make an hour-long telefilm and not this big, sophisticated theatrical production that's about to change the opinions of everyone who's watching it. They just want to make a movie and tell a story that deals with their world and their beliefs. I'm honestly not sure if I would have liked it more if we found out more about the actual movie in the movie, but I guess it's just fine as it is. But what I'm absolutely certain about is that Halal Love Story really gains so much energy and humor once their shooting really begins. The setup takes a bit, but once the cameras are rolling, this becomes so much fun. It might be even more hilarious when you have an interest in the art of filmmaking and all the troubles that come with it, but either way, Zakariya Mohammed is really able to turn this film into a full-fledged comedy there. There are two very memorable cameos in the film, and both are definite highlights. The first and by far funniest element of the film is Zubin Shahir's portrayal as this demanding, eccentric sound director. And the challenge of getting sync sound without some disturbing background noises is so much fun and also very relatable, especially for me since there has been this construction site right next to my place for the last few weeks. Zubin Shahir's character, his performance, and the way he commands the production team to make sure that no one around is making sounds are so funny that it's almost becoming a little bit too much for this kind of film. But like I said, I think they still find the right balance for it. The second cameo is by the wonderful Parvati, who is playing an acting coach, after, surprise surprise, our rookie actors can't really act all that well. Again, the depiction of those first attempts to shoot a movie are quite hilarious, and the work of the acting coach also has some really fun moments. But more so, I was impressed because I think the few techniques they show could actually help a lot. And it was also at this point that the movie really establishes what then becomes the actual main focus. My review is already quite long, and yet I haven't even talked about the heart and soul of Halal Love Story, because that's the relationship and dynamic of Sharif and his wife Surah, played by Indrajith Sukumaran and Grace Antony. For the movie to be halal, the couple in it should be played by a real-life couple, and this responsibility falls to Sharif, who has at least some experience as a street play actor where he was spreading awareness to the wrong image of Muslims that is set by the US. In a small, nice twist of events, it turns out that his wife Surah might be the more convincing actor, which leads to this loss of confidence, which is really wonderfully played by Indrajith. First of all, when done right, it's always such a pleasure to watch good actors play bad actors and give those wooden deliveries. It's fun, but also very lovable how everyone in front of the camera tries to do their best to make their movie a success. But when Sharif is really struggling, Indrajith shines so much. Yet this little conflict about the acting is more the background to the actual conflict between Sharif and Surah. Halal Love Story starts out as this film dealing with representation and religious issues, but it transforms into something that's much more about this couple and their marriage, about their unresolved issues and how that will affect everything moving forward. Yet the film is still able to hold its balance because that conflict is nicely woven into this life imitates art idea. To an outsider like me, their big issue might actually seem like not that big of a deal, yet it's portrayed in a way that underlines its severeness. And it sure does help a lot that both Indrajith and especially Grace Antony give really heartfelt performances. I only think that the resolution could have been handled a bit deeper. It seems rather underwritten and almost brushed over. I had a similar feeling when it comes to the side story of the director Siraj, which also more or less just ends. And I also felt as if Rahim and Tawfiq, with whom we mostly spent time during the beginning, get pushed a little bit too much into the background later on. And this might sound strange, but I also really like the film's quite casual, lighthearted approach to the religious theme, and at the same time I wished for just a little bit more bite or punch. So in German I'd say, Halal Love Story ist ein wundervoller, herzlicher und einfach gemütlicher Feelgood-Film, der eine gute Balance aus Humor und Drama, Satire und Realismus findet. Ein toller Cast und eine hübsche Präsentation, vielleicht fehlt nur ein bisschen Schärfe und eine stärkere Auflösung. I give Halal Love Story 7 out of 10. It's more like 7.4, but I don't do that.
Ready for take. ആരുവാണെങ്കിലേ ആംബിയൻസ് going for take. Sound rolling.
Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about Halal Love Story. You can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram and Letterboxd and also on Patreon simply at TheJimmyCage. And if you're new to the channel, please take a look around. We have reviewed about 200 Indian movies by now and we also have a special playlist for all the Malayalam ones that is linked in the description below. You can also become a member of the channel and get exclusive rewards and even pick a movie directly for us. And last but not least, if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like, and make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.